Victor Wembanyama is a San Antonio Spur. Well, not officially, but he's the consensus #1 pick in the Spurs, won the lottery. And honestly, this is the best place for him. The Spurs are a stable, well-run franchise. They have been that way for the past almost 30 years. And this is a team where he doesn't really have to fight for the starting center position. The Spurs have had a hole at the center position since they traded Jakob Poeltl, and this is pretty much going to be his show. I mean, of course, he's going to have to come in and fit in with the other guys in the locker room, but I think from the get-go, it's going to be a fact that this is Wembanyama's team. And for that reason, we're doing a Wembanyama Spurs rebuild. Now, it did take a minute, but I got the draft order as it is after the 2023 lottery took place. Spurs, then the Hornets, and then after that, the Blazers at 3. And then every other first round pick is accurate as well. I was not going to do the second round perfectly as well because this shit took a minute. But yeah, we got the draft, first round in order, and we're going to do a Wemby Spurs rebuild. Now, I think this is the team that I wanted to see Wemby on most because you got to be a really avid Spurs hater to not want to see the Spurs succeed because their success has come the right way, man. They never really made a marquee free agency signing. Whenever they were a top tier team in the Western Conference, they built it through the draft, a very honorable way when you see a lot of super teams being formulated by trades and free agency signings. The Spurs way was always refreshing, so I'm happy that they got their #1 pick and can have their generational talent in Wembanyama. Now, we do have an early second round pick. I'm not sure how early IRL the second round pick is for the Spurs, but it would have to be pretty early. And I don't really know any of these prospects that remain here. Derek Lively's here. Jordan Hawkins fell to the second round. There's no way that happens. I'm gonna draft him though. And we have another, Derek Lively's still here. We're gonna take Derek Lively. Now, visualizing this team, right? The core as it stands with Wemby, it's gonna be him with Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, and Jeremy Sochan. So 2 through 5 we're pretty much set with Vassell at the 2, Keldon at the 3, Sochan at the 4, and Wemby at the 5. Obviously, we really just need to get that point guard to perfectly put things in place. I don't want to just build completely through the draft and just tank for a top tier point guard in the 2024 draft class and get Isaiah Collier, DJ Wagner, or Bronny James, I guess. I kind of want to add a star point guard. Maybe not in this upcoming season, or this offseason, maybe the next offseason. Yeah, if I make a star free agency signing, it's going to be next offseason. I think for this offseason, we're just going to focus on adding some veterans for the mentorship of Wemby, Keldon, and Vassell, and Sochan. Especially Sochan, because 2K does not want to give him any badges. Now, I know Dillon Brooks is not the most liked NBA player right now, but I think he can be a good veteran for Devin Vassell, especially as on the defensive end. And 2K actually gave Dillon Brooks some solid shooting badges, so I'm going to give him a 3-year contract. I probably should have put a team option on the last year. And then mentoring Wemby, I think, is going to be Andre Drummond. Hopefully Drummond can get this man in the weight room because that's the most glaring weakness in Wemby's game. And then I want to get a mentor for Sochan, but I can't really find a good one. I might have to trade for one, like a defensive-minded, versatile forward with a lot of defensive badges is what I'm looking for. And I think I can get that in adding Larry Nance. So I'm going to look to give them Zach Collins for Larry Nance and a second-round pick. And they're going to agree to that, so they get an upgrade at the backup center position overall-wise, and we get somebody that can be a better mentor for us and a better fit for us, because I'm going to move Larry Nance to the 4 position. So right now on the team, oh man, Devontae Graham is our starting point guard. I forgot about this Pelicans Josh Richardson Devontae Graham trade, and I completely forgot about Trey Jones. I think I accidentally renounced the rights on him. It's kind of my mistake, but I don't really like Devontae Graham as my starting point guard right now. As of right now, he is our starting point guard. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I can just alter this point guard position or rotation. So we have a plethora of centers. We have Kem Birch, Drummond, Bassey, and Lively. We don't need this many centers, and we need an upgrade at the point guard position or somebody who I just actually want to play instead of Devontae Graham. The Rockets signed Dinwiddie in free agency, so obviously they don't view Ty Washington as their long-term point guard. So I'm going to give him a chance to get some point guard minutes by trading Khem Birch and 2 second-round picks for Ty Washington. Oh, they say no. Realistically speaking, I don't even want Derek Lively. There you go. Kind of an overpay for Ty Washington, but I really don't want to play Devontae Graham. So the 10-man rotation is going to be Wesley, Ty, Vassell, Branham, Keldon, Brooks, Sohan, Nance, Wemby, and Drummond. Drummond's going to mentor Wemby. Nance is going to mentor Sohan. It's going to be a bit of a point guard battle for the starting spot. They're going to get the same amount of minutes, but I mean, we'll just see who gets the official starting nod throughout the season. So the year 1 rotation at full health will be starting out Blake Wesley at the starting 1, followed by Vassell, Keldon, Sohan, Wemby off the bench as DB, the 6th man, then Branham, Ty, Drummond, and Larry Nance. And then I like our 3rd string guys as well in Bullock, Devontae Graham, and Charles Bassey. We're going to have Jordan Hawkins in the G League, of course. Like I said, Larry Nance will be mentoring Jeremy Sohan. Andre Drummond will mentor Wembanyama. And Dillon Brooks doesn't really have that impactful of a mentorship relationship with Devin Vassell, I guess, because he's only 4 years older than him. So instead we'll have Reggie Bullock mentor Devin Vassell. System proficiency is 2.5-star defense. Instead we're going to rock with balance most likely because it's the highest proficiency at 3.5. So we'll rock with balance and we'll see how this season starts. And Wemby is hooping. 20 and 10. 2 blocks, a steal, 50 from the field, 46 from 3. Oh yeah, the man's a cheat code. We knew that was going to happen with 2K. He's followed by Keldon and then Vassell. I mainly want to look at the point guard play. Blake Wesley, 10.5, 3 assists, 42 from the field, 38 from 3, not bad. Ty, 10.5, 3, 41 from the field, 30. Like roughly the same stats from both of these guys. Okay, we're pulling up on the trade deadline, and this team has kind of been fighting the injury bug. Dillon Brooks has had quite a few injuries. Malachi Branham, Vassell was out for 2 months. Even Jeremy Sohan had some injuries, so we're last in the conference, as to be expected. But Wemby's probably going to be the rookie of the year. Keldon Johnson, 16 a game. I really view him... maybe he can be the 3rd option on a championship team. He's not going to be the long-term number 2, that's for sure. I'd like to keep Vassell as that 3 and D2 guard. Branham is dropping 13 a game on 51 from the field, so I think he could be our long-term 6th man. Dillon Brooks has actually been pretty efficient for Dillon Brooks's standards. 11 a game, 36 from the field, probably providing elite defense. Sohan offensively is kind of struggling a little bit. Ty Washington, 10 and 4 off the bench, 41 from the field, 32 from 3. Wesley, 10 and 3, better efficiency. But I think we really just need that playmaker at the point guard position. I think for the last half or third of the season, whatever is left, I'm going to start Devontae Graham because he is probably the best playmaker out of the 3 point guards I have, and I'm going to take Ty Washington's minutes. 29 and 53. Wembanyama did get Rookie of the Year, 18 and 11. And of course, he makes all rookie first team. And we get Blake Wesley on all rookie second team. I think it's because in the simulation he didn't play in the 2022 to 2023 season because it's not a start today save. I mean, this season went as expected, to be honest. Sixers get the chip. Now, in this offseason, I am kind of looking to make a splash at the point guard spot. Might be in free agency, depending on who's there. Might be in a trade. But first things first, when we have a very important stake in this lottery. Now, I think Charlotte gets their pick. I don't think we get Charlotte's pick outright. I think there's some weird protection on it. Our pick falls to 6. Their pick lands at 4. I'm pretty sure they get it, and 2K just doesn't know how to do those particular draft pick swaps and conditions. Yeah, it goes from top 14 protected in 2023 to top 16 in 2024. So they do get their own pick. Swap seconds in 2027 and they'll get their pick back. The Kings just won the lottery. Maybe that's a prime time to trade for De'Aaron Fox. They finished second to last in the West, only 3 games ahead of us. So potentially they could shop De'Aaron Fox. It would make sense, realistically. So since we don't have like a max level contract on this team, like the most money is going to Keldon Johnson at $19 million. We can literally just give them the number 6 pick for De'Aaron Fox, and we could take on that $34 million, and it would make sense financially. But obviously we need to pile on more assets. So I think it's gonna be, I'll just give them this 19th pick. So number 6 and number 19 in the first round for De'Aaron Fox, that second round pick, and then I'd also give up our pick in 2025 because I think we'll be good for De'Aaron Fox, and they agree. So 3 first round picks and a second for De'Aaron Fox. They're obviously rebuilding. They just won the lottery. So now Vassell is up for an extension. Hopefully he doesn't ask for more than 20 million. Hopefully. Slightly more than 20, but I think we can work with that. And I'm actually able to get him on a very team-friendly deal. I offered him 17 million annually for 4 years, and he's going to accept that. It's a flat rate, so it doesn't rise. Keldon Johnson didn't develop. That's unfortunate because I thought he could be the third option, but we got development from Vassell, Sochan, and Branham, and Wesley even. Okay, so for year 2, rotation: De'Aaron, Vassell, Keldon, Sochan, Wemby off the bench, Branham, Brooks, Wesley, Drummond, and Nance. I think that's a damn good 10-man unit. We now have 4-star proficiency and balanced, but Wembanyama doesn't. Like, Wembanyama out of the starting 5 is the one who hates balance the most, and he's who I'm building around. Now, this season, we definitely should be playoff bound once that team chemistry gets up. I think at least 42 wins. I should have said barring injury, because without either De'Aaron or Wembanyama, this team is not 500. And for the last half of the season, it's going to be without De'Aaron Fox. And Fox was actually our leading scorer at 23 per game, 60 from the field. Branham's dropping 19 off the bench. Efficient as hell, 50 from the field, 42 from 3. Look at Dylan Brooks, dude. 13 a game. Not bad efficiency for Dylan Brooks. Leslie's averaging 13 and 4. 50 from the field, 48 from 3. It can't be our offense that's the issue. I was thinking of doing like a win now trade for an offensive minded small forward to upgrade from Keldon Johnson, and I was thinking of Lauri Markkanen, but I think instead I'm just gonna bide my time. This team is kind of, I won't say overperforming. I guess currently they're overperforming for playing without De'Aaron Fox, but kind of went on a mean losing streak to end the year, and we're not gonna finish the season above 500. Instead, we finish at 40 and 42. Still in the playing picture, 8th in the Western Conference, so not all is bad. And these were the stats: Wemby 22 and 12. We saw De'Aaron Fox before he went out for the season. Branham almost averaged 20 off the bench. That's insane. Keldon Johnson went up to 17. Vassell 15. Let me check efficiency. 45 from the field, 43 from 3. Keldon Johnson shot 40 from 3, 51 from the field. Like, the efficiency from our starting wings was insane. Sochan, I gotta tell him to stop shooting threes because there's no reason he should be shooting so far below 50% from the field. Wesley was really solid, 13 and 5, 4.5. Primarily, actually not even primarily off the bench. Most of it was in the starting lineup because Fox only played 32 games. Now, in the play-in tournament, we're taking on Houston. These are 2 teams primed for the future. They got KPJ still, Dinwiddie. Looks like Jalen Green's injured, but they still got Jabari and Şengün. I think our team is better.
Nope.
We lost, but we got another chance in the second round. I accidentally simulated it, and we fucking lost to the Grizzlies. Oh, man. Half of me is disappointed because I wanted to make the playoffs, but the other half of me is being realistic because I think the Hawks just came back from a 3-0 deficit. De'Aaron Fox missed more than half of the season, so I mean, it is pretty impressive that we were able to get this far without De'Aaron Fox. Ty Lue, do you want to come in and be my shot doctor for top dollars? Oh yeah, he will. Okay, we really needed an upgrade offensively for our coaching staff. The offense was the area of concern, so we're gonna add a top tier big man coach as well, offensive minded. So we made some offensive improvements to our coaching staff. Not saying it's necessary that we make a splash here. We had a lot of second round picks, none of which I'm bringing in. I'm not saying I have to make a splash in terms of adding a star in free agency or via an offseason trade, but I'm open to it for sure. Running quickly at the 2 and moving Vassell to the 3, trading Keldon Johnson, not the worst idea in the world. Our backcourt would be pretty small with Fox and Quickly, but I mean, we would have a pretty good defensive front court with Sohan, Wemby, and Vassell if I moved him to the 3. So if I went after Quickly, I'd have to free up $13 million. I think that's going to come in the form of moving Keldon Johnson, because yeah, I'm moving Vassell to the 3 to free up a spot for it Quickly. And I could do it with Indiana. They want to upgrade their small forward position, evidently. Their starting small forward currently is Max Lewis, and they're willing to give me Andrew Nembhard. Fuck it, I'm with it. Okay, so now we should have enough room to go after Quickly. We'll give him a 4-year deal, flatlined, $17 million per. Same exact deal I gave to Vassell. It's the only offer he has, but I'd have to renounce the rights on everybody here, even Jordan Hawkins, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Kind of want to upgrade this backup front court. Not gonna lie, I didn't really find much, so we're gonna opt for free agency, use our mid-level exception on Jordan Nwora. Definitely a sharpshooter from the 4 position. And then we could use a third string center because what's his name? Bass is going to be injured to start the year, so we'll just bring back Drummond on a minimum contract. That's done, and I need to add more small forward depth. We have way too many point guards, so we'll do this trade, Nembhard, and I think this is the guy I picked up in the draft for Thibault and a first round pick. Development from Wemby, Vassell, Branham, Sohan, Wesley, and it says regression from Fox, but it's just because he's injured. Okay, year 3. Looking promising. I'm going to lower the injury frequency because I got completely hoed by that De'Aaron Fox injury. I don't need to get hoed again. So I'm going to lower it to 27 for this last, potentially this last year. And unfortunately, Fox is going to be injured going into the season. I thought he'd be healed by now. And De'Aaron Fox is finally back. I think we're hovering around 500. We're at 7-7, but now we can make a rotation at full health. It's going to be Fox, Quickly, Vassell, Sohan, Wemby off the bench, Branham, Brooks, Wesley, Ty Washington, and Bassey. They're opting to not play Nwora. Interesting. So I'm going to take Ty out of the rotation. We're going to play Nwora. 12 minutes. We'll drop Brooks to 20, Branham to 27, Wesley to 17. And yeah, we need to play De'Aaron Fox like 33 minutes. He's our second best player. At full health, chemistry is damn near 100. Okay, we are approaching the trade deadline, and we're going into it at 34-22, third in the conference. So the goal of top 4 in the West has been hit, but we're only 8th in the power ranking. Wemby, 21-12. Fox, only 16? 7.5 assists I like, but only 16 a game, that's kind of unacceptable. I need more out of my number 2 guy. Vassell, 14, 41.6 from 3. Quickly, 13-5. Very good efficiency. Sohan, now that he's not shooting so many goddamn threes, his efficiency is finally where it should be. 12.5 on 56 from the field. Wesley off the bench, 10.6 and 3. De'Aaron, man, what's going on, bro? Offensive rating is 13th, so kind of middle of the pack. Defensive rating is damn, our defensive rating isn't even that good. We are neither a top 10 offense or a top 10 defense. That is not a good look. Maybe I have to trade for a star. I was trying to just prioritize and value the IRL young core that I still have here in Sohan, Vassell, and Branham, and Blake Wesley, but maybe I actually have to trade for a star, like a definitive, bona fide third star. So I'm gonna swing high. Timberwolves are rebuilding. They have Anthony Edwards. I have never tried to trade for Anthony Edwards ever, but I'm gonna try now. Vassell and Quickly. Every package for a star caliber player is gonna take Vassell and Quickly to make the money work. We'll take a minimum player back in return. That will be Lamar Stevens, and then we're just gonna pile on first. Wow, 4-star val. I might be able to get this trade done. A 4-star valued #1 or first round pick from Chicago. I'm not even sure. Was this the DeMar DeRozan trade? This might have been the DeMar DeRozan trade. If I have that pick, that swap is not very valuable. Oh my god, the 76ers? What trade was this? In the draft for Thibault and a first round pick. It might have been a trade I actually made. I have a 4-star first round pick and a 3.5-star first round pick with Devin Vassell and Emmanuel Quickly going to a rebuilding Timberwolves team for Anthony Edwards. All right, let's go ahead and win the championship right now. Point guard rotation, Fox and Wesley. 2 guard is just Branham right now. Small forward is Edwards and Brooks. Power forward is Sohan and Nwora. Center is Wemby and Bassey. Now I want to trade. I just need a 3-and-D 2 guard because Anthony Edwards is going to command the ball quite a bit. We know Wemby is as well, and De'Aaron Fox still needs to get his. I want Branham as my 6th man, so I just need a 3-and-D 2 guard. All players I don't really want to try. Oh, Devontae Graham and Ty Washington. Perfect. Welcome. Do they have you as a 2 guard? They do. Fox, Melton, Edwards, Sohan, Wemby off the bench, Branham, Brooks, Wesley, Bassey, and Nwora. That's perfect. And then my third strings are Drummond, Thibault, Nance, Stevens, and no. I need a 3rd string point guard because I currently don't have one. I have this dude, but yeah, I need an upgrade there. So we're gonna get a veteran PG in free agency that I trust a little bit more. Oh, there's not really one out there. Is there a 2 guard that can play the point? Not really. Damn. The 76ers were not a contending team last time I checked. So I might be able to pull this off with Lamar Stevens and just pile on some picks. Oh my god, it all comes full circle. So I actually got Nembhard back on this team after trading him away in that 3-team trade in the offseason. So now, 10-man rotation, Fox, Melton, Edwards, Sohan, Wemby off the bench, Branham, Nembhard, Brooks, Wesley, and Bassey. Sheesh. Actually, I'm not going to play Nembhard because I want to keep playing Wesley, and I just need him in case we have a very unfortunate injury. I still want to play Nwora, so we have that front court play. And I'm going to make Wemby a secondary power forward so we get more power forward minutes going on. Yeah, we're good to go. This team is elite. We should definitely make the finals. Like, this is finals or bust. 2K tends to hate me when I put together super teams, and this is kind of a super team. Fox is up for an extension. We'll give that to him. Front loaded. This is for when I rebuild off camera, but okay. Yeah, this team is built to win now. Edwards and Wemby. I still can't believe I traded for Anthony Edwards. That was insane. That was the best trade I ever pulled off. And we finish out 56-26. We get Wemby an All-NBA 3rd team. And Anthony Edwards made All-NBA 1st team. He was probably averaging like 30 points per game before the trade. And he ended up at... Bruh, this man averaged 39 points per game last season. What? Wemby 21-12. Fox 16-7. Branham 15 off the bench. This is a complete team for sure. We finished 5th in offensive rating and I think that's 8th in defensive rating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th in defensive rating. Rating differential was 5th. Yeah, we're trending upwards. Pelicans in the 1st round. They did not bring back. Whoa, Trae Young and Zion. They didn't bring back Brandon Ingram, but Trae Young and Zion, Herb Jones, Jaden, and Kevon Looney. Our team's better. That's a good 8 seed. But come on. We have Anthony Edwards and Wembanyama. Oh, I thought we swept them. 2K. Come on, man. We should not be blowing a 3-0 lead as a 1 seed. I don't understand why 2K makes this so common. Like something that has never happened in NBA history. Oh, wow. I closed my eyes and we almost came back. We blow a fucking 3-0 lead, dude. I fucking hate 2K. It makes no sense. Whatever. But that was when I ruled the world.